Namawa. In one of my earlier videos, I had covered the book The Student's Guide to Sanskrit Composition by Vaman Shivaram Apte as one of the best books for learning Sanskrit through English. Some of the viewers commented that it is an advanced book and if there is something basic that I could suggest. So in this video, I'll cover some very basic books to learn Sanskrit through English. And before we go to these books, the usual disclaimer, I always recommend learning through one's mother tongue. So if you're a Hindi speaker or a Bengali speaker or a Telugu speaker or Marathi speaker, it's better to learn Sanskrit through your mother tongue. If that's not possible or there are no options, then I recommend learning through another Indian language, which you may know well. And only if none of these two options are possible or available, then you may want to learn Sanskrit through English, that is for people living in India. Now, for people living abroad like NRIs or foreigners, it may be the only option, learning Sanskrit through English. So this video is to help such people and also some people in India who may not have some other option apart from learning Sanskrit through English. Before we go to these books, the set of books, I would also like to mention the Ruchira series of books, which is published by the NCERT, and these are very reasonably priced books. This one is Ruchira, the first part, Prathamo Bhaga, which is for class 6, priced at only rupees 45, and it mentions word meanings in both Hindi and English. So as you can see on this page, you have the words in Sanskrit, then the meanings in Hindi, and in this column the meanings are in English. So this one is for class 6. The second part of Ruchira is for class 7, priced at only rupees 50, and the third part is for class 8. These books are available for free download on the NCERT website and can be used to learn Sanskrit through English, but they still require familiarity with an Indian context or a good teacher to teach them. Now we come to the books which I was talking about, the books to learn Sanskrit through English at a very basic level. And these books are published by the St. James group of schools. As you know, the St. James schools are probably the only schools in the UK which have Sanskrit as a mandatory language at the primary levels. And there are many videos on St. James schools and how they teach Sanskrit. So the books published by St. James schools have been republished in India by Motilal Banarsidass, one of the major Indological publishers. I own many titles by Motilal Banarsidass, and they have done phenomenal work in publishing Indic works. So they have published the books by St. James schools. The first set is called Sanskrit is Fun, and there are 3 books here. This is the first part, Sanskrit is Fun. The second part is, this is the third part, I'm sorry. This is the second part, and this is the second part, and this is the third part. These 3 parts, the foreword to these sets of books is by Professor Satyavrat Shastri, the late Sanskrit scholar who was awarded the Jnanapith Award. And he has recommended that these books may be used for very basic level students. So these first 3 parts teach the Devanagari alphabet. For example, the first part covers the vowels and the consonants. So this is the family. They do it in the Siddhanta Kaumudi or Paninian style, Akuha Visarjaniyanam Kantha. So they cover all the sounds from the Kantha together and so on. And similarly, they cover all the other vowels and the consonants. Then the second part covers the matras, the combinations. So for example, here you'll see what are the matras with ka, so ki, kri, and ku. Similarly for ta, ti, tri, and tu, and so on. And this is what the second part does. The third part is on the conjunct consonants. And here we look at things like pasha, plava, and so on. So in 3 parts, the first set is all about the script, the Devanagari script, the alphabet, and that's all. But it's organized with illustrations and in a student-friendly manner, in a manner which is suitable for young children. So that's the first set of books. The second set is also for beginners, and it is in two parts. The Story of Rama. This is the first part. The same editors, Warwick Jessup and Elena Jessup. This is the Story of Rama, part 1, and the Story of Rama, part 2. All these titles are published by Motilal Banarsidass, and the prices are from 250 to 350 or thereabouts for each of these books. So the Story of Rama teaches Sanskrit through the Ramayana. And for example, Ramaha Mithilam Agachat, Tatra Nripaha Janakaha Nama, Janakasya Kanya Sita Nama, and so on. And you have the English translations, and then the Sanskrit sentences, and then illustrations. So the first part covers the Ramayana till the death of Jatayu, and you have the singular forms of the word Rama. That's how this book starts: Ramaha, Ramam, Ramena, Ramaya, Ramat, Ramasya, Rame, and so on. And very gradually, some concepts are introduced. For example, the masculine forms of Tat, Saha, Tau, Te, Tam, Tau, Tan, and so on. So you have quite a few exercises, around 50 odd exercises in the book. For example, here at the end, you have the forms of Mitra, Mitram, Mitre, Mitrani, and so on. And these concepts are introduced with the Ramayana. At the end, you have a set of appendices which list all the words used in the text and their meanings. So that's the first part. The second part is from the story from the Kishkinda Kanda till the end of the Ramayana. And you have longer sentences and their meanings. So, for example, you have the burning of Lanka, and here you have Vayuputra Achintayat Katham Ravanam Drakshami Iti. So these are to be explained. Unlike the first set, which was Sanskrit is Fun, this does require a teacher. So you would need somebody to teach this, but you can try on your own. These are the forms of the word Sita, the forms of the word Mitram, which were covered in the other book also. So this is the second set, which is the Story of Rama in two parts. Then you have the stories of Krishna, again for beginners. This is the first part, and this is the second part. So 3 plus 2 plus 2. These are the 7 books at for beginners. These are all course books for beginners. These 7, which you can start with. And then you have at the intermediate level, the next set of books, which is, congrats for guessing, it's on the Mahabharata. So even Westerners realize that the easiest way to learn Sanskrit is through the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. And I was pleased to see this. So this is part 1. As you see, it's a course book for intermediate level. This is part 1, the Mahabharata. This is part 2, shows Gandhari as the cover pic, and this is part 3, which shows Abhimanyu. Each of these books is priced at around rupees 400. So you can get this from Motilal Banarsidass. And there's one last book which I want to cover in this video, which is Sanskrit, an introductory course. This is priced at rupees 400, also published by Motilal Banarsidass, as you see. These are all published in agreement with the St. James schools. And this one starts with the alphabet, then so it's something which combines all the books that I have covered so far. Starts with the alphabet, and then the consonants and vowels, the samyuktaksharas, then the sentence, the various cases, vocative, instrumental, dative, ablative, genitive, locative, the singular forms, dual nouns, plural nouns, verbal forms, and some other areas of grammar. So these set of 11 books can be used to learn Sanskrit through English. All have been published by Motilal Banarsidass, and you may start with them if you want to learn Sanskrit or if you want to teach Sanskrit through English. That was all for this video. Thanks to Shri R.P. Jain for sending these books to me, and tremendous job done by Motilal Banarsidass, and I think it's good to support such publishers who have been publishing Sanskrit and Indological books. So that's all for today. I'll meet you some other day with some other topic. Namo.